Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your Code King Zaf here, back with another juicy video covering our shadows. Yes, I do want to go over their weapons, I do want to go over their growth and their rankings as well to ensure you maximize on your resources, because shadow weapons especially, they are so expensive to advance up. Watch this, all the way to the 5th advancement, it costs us so many of this very rare resource, including these traces here. It's just way too expensive. At least the gold cost is pretty low. So I do want to answer, which weapons do you max out first, or do you level up each shadow weapon one by one? I do want to answer in today's video, including the growth, which a lot of you do still miss, so I do want to cover that, and the rankings as well, going over which shadows are probably the best get the general, and which ones can wait. That way, you do maximize on the traces. I might be a whale, but I still enjoy maximizing my resources that way. I'm always ready for the next update, ensuring I get the most upgrades in. Now, first off, I do want to jump into Netmarble's document when it comes to our shadows. I do want to cover their weapons because we have some very good info here that does help out for decision. First off, when it comes to shadows, obviously, you unlock their weapon when the shadow reaches the general rank, so do keep note. And when it comes to the stats on the weapon, as you can see, we get some power coming in, we get some attack, and some precision, but the main question is, do these stat amounts apply to jinwoo or hunters, or is it just our shadows? Well, I can answer that right now for you. Shadow Armament offers stat boosts for your shadows, an increase to your army's total power, in armament skill, and armament effects, so this applies to our shadows, the stat boosts for your shadows. That means they do not apply to jinwoo, so that's honestly very good, especially when it comes to our decision making. You could argue, well, should I max out one of the weapons first when it comes to shadows I always use, like Serbi, like Bureau, like Iron, and like Igris or Big Rock? No, we do not need to do that, because these only apply to our shadows, and the boosts to our shadows, although are good, they're not necessarily dealing enough damage for us to warrant one shadow to get absolutely maxed out, so I do want to mention that first. But I do want to mention one more thing. If you want a bunch of free codes, yes, free, make sure you go to the link down below, you press the supporter button, it is 100% free. After you link your account, after you support, go to the top right and press the My Page button, then this page loads up, you scroll down, my name should come up right here. If my name does not show up, that means you are not supporting, you keep going down, under receive benefits, all the codes we have for the season will be sent directly to you. Right now we have 7, we had 8 but one expired, so we have 7 codes right now for rune chests, manpower extracts, essence stones and more, so make sure you support that way, you do not miss out. And speaking of miss this time around, Angel did not miss, a huge shout out to you. They were finally our first commenter on our last video, so here's your shout out to enjoy that juicy exclusive Discord role. So going back to our shadows, very important, watch this. Let me upgrade this weapon. For example, this is Igris' weapon. As you can see, going from advancement 1 all the way to 2 nets us a total power amount after we upgrade of 400,419. But watch this, let me jump out. As you can see, our power goes up by around the 3,000 mark. But watch this, let me go to, I think we have tank, yeah, their weapon is at the A2 mark. Watch this, if I advance it from A2 all the way to A3, I get the same power bonus, but I do obviously get more attack in a sense, because their weapon becomes stronger. But again, like I mentioned, this only applies to our shadows, and not to jinwoo, not to our hunters, so the most efficient route to take would be to upgrade every single weapon one at a time. So in my case, I would upgrade shadows like Iron, shadows like Igris, shadows like Blades. Who else we have here? Big Rock, we have Serbi as well, Tank. All these shadows need to be ranked up minus Bureau. So let's do one right now. Let's do Serbi, why not? Let's upgrade their weapon, and boom, we just got 3,000 plus power coming in. And let's do it again. Let's pick someone like Igris. Boom, let's go to our weapon. Again, very cheap upgrades. And there we go, yet again, another juicy power bonus. Watch this, let me just show you again. If you're confused, we can go to 406 one upgrade, and then go to 408 with another. But let's do 2 upgrades right now with a far less cost. As you can see, if I wanted 2 upgrades, I could not afford it based on this resource here. But watch this, if I exit out, let's do Big Rock, boom, upgrade. We got a big upgrade out of that one. And let's do Kaisel, why not? Doesn't matter. And you can see here, with a cheaper cost, we got the same power coming in. We do lose out on just a bit of attack, but again, like I mentioned, this only applies to our shadows and no one else. That's why it's very viable to do. And let's do Tusk as well, he deserves a weapon, and done. We just improved our power by such a large amount. We are now at the 411,000 army total power mark. That is insane. Let me just check our total power very quick in the battle tier. we are at 1.782 million. That's what I call crazy. But I do want to jump back and mention the growth as well. As you know right now, when it comes to growth, you obviously want to get your shadows growth up as much as possible, but that is not efficient. You of course want to upgrade your shadows one at a time, because if you don't, you're losing out on a bunch of power based on how much the upgrades cost. You can see here we gain how much power. We get a total power amount of 412,000. We jump out, let's see, it's the same thing here, I'm pretty sure, and 412, and 412 here as well. That's why I upgrade all my shadows one at a time when it comes to growth. But when it comes to the red upgrades, I believe they're all the same. Watch this. If I go all the way to the end, that's 1 and 2 upgrades. We need 80, we need 80, and we need 140. Let's see, is it the same right here? Do we need 80, 80, and 140? Yep. So it's the same thing after the gold mark. When you're in the red territory, it is all the same amount, and the power gains are the same, I believe. So 412,951. And if I jump into here, 412,951, yep, same thing. So when you get to gold and above, it really doesn't matter. You can just max out a shadow, whichever one's your favorite. That is no problem. So in this case, Igris, why not? Let me upgrade them, and done. Red is okay, so you don't have to worry about that. But everything before red, you do have to maximize on up until that gold 3 mark. I believe the gold 3 mark actually gives us a ton of power. Very important you get the maximum power in. Again, the shadow material is not easy to get, especially these Abyssal Essence. These are so difficult to find. These ones are obviously much easier. I mean, I could craft them, right? But the exchange rate is just so bad. Let me show you. So every 25 we get 5, so every 5 we get 1. Yeah, that's not a good rate if you ask me. So yeah, let's say 40 to craft up, I would need 8, which is 200. Yeah, not worth it. Do not craft these up. These are not easy to get too, so rushing in to get these when you don't have these, yeah, not a good idea, so do take note of that. And when it comes to your shadow party, when it comes to using your traces, if you weren't aware, I would say you should max one shadow first, either Igris or Big Rock. Those are your best global sports. I would say Igris is probably the best choice when it comes to picking one shadow for the authority. As you can see right here, they give us an 8% crit bonus when it comes to every single team member, so not too bad at all. Big Rock is fine too. The only issue is their Shadow's Authority doesn't apply to everyone. Not everyone is focusing on the basic skill damage, so do take note. That's why Igris is kind of goated. They apply to every single hunter and jinwoo, which is ideal. So they're your number 1, and you should also unlock 2 shadows first, that being Serbi and also Biru. These are must unlocks. They give bonuses in game, and they're pretty much always on our team based on their bonuses. Let me show you. For example, for Biru we have the punishment bonus, a 5% bonus damage shaken, and for Serbi they're honestly goated. They have a 5% bonus as well to the target damage shaken, which does last forever, which is so good. So again, a shadow we have to unlock early. So I would say unlock Igris first to general, then get Serbi just unlocked. Don't get him to general, there is no point. Then get Biru as well. They are your 2 best shadows to unlock right away after Igris. And then you have some options, of course. You can get someone like Big Rock all the way to general. It's up to you. That's not a bad move. Or you can start unlocking more shadows to get your army power up, depending on how many traces you have, and depending on how much shadow energy you have, because the faster you rank up your shadows, the higher your army level becomes, which is ideal if you want more power. But if you want more damage, that might not be the best route to take, obviously. So it depends on what you want. It depends on your resources, because if you don't have shadow energy, in my case, I have a lot. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 71,000. I obviously want to rank up my shadows. Let's say like 5 shadows release. I want to rank them up ASAP, getting my army level up. That way I can get more power coming in, because power is king in this game. So I just want to mention that. So as I was saying before, make sure you only rank up one shadow to general first. In this case, I would recommend Igris, but you have to unlock some other shadows first while you're doing that journey. So I would recommend Serbi as your number 1 unlock after Igris. And then you have kind of 2 options here. You can get Biru, but you can also get Iron. They're honestly both very good. Iron, obviously, when it comes to under modes, he's pretty much ideal. We do run him all the time, so that's not a bad choice to make. Biru, of course, as well, with the 5% damaging bonus in Iron. If you weren't aware, let me show you. A lot of you are new, so I do want to mention this. They provide a 12% defense reduction to the target, which is very, very juicy. So he is very good for hunter modes where we do not have shadow step, so it's up to you. You can't really go wrong. Honestly, I would recommend unlocking every single one here. So Iron, Serbi, and Biru. Serbi first, and then Biru and Iron, depending on what you want. That is your best combo. And then once Igris is maxed out the general, you can move on to, let's say, Big Rock, another good option, and then upgrade where you see fit, based on the hunters you have, based on maybe your jinwoo focus, but that's your general focus there. Unlock these shadows, they are the best, and then max out Igris, and then go for Big Rock. Those are the best 2 shadows right now. Blades as well, one of the best shadows we have. An attack bonus is very nice. But Biru is not bad too for the general rank, giving us a 5% attack increase and a 5% crit damage increase, which can be useful, especially for hunter modes, especially battlefield time, so do take note. He is a very good option as well, but that's basically it for today's video. I just wanted to cover our shadow weapons. It is crucial you advance them up one by one, otherwise you're wasting resources, and these are not easy to get. Even as a whale, I'm having a very tough time unlocking them. But on that note, that is everything for today's video. Make sure, if you haven't yet, to support us for free, of course, on our mobile support program. That way, I can send you a bunch of juicy codes like the ones you see here. But on that note, this is all I have for today. This is your Code King Zaf, signing out.